What's up, people? Orseofkorse here, coming at you with another Paragon deck build. Today, we're going to be looking at my bae party girl, Morigesh. If you want to follow my deck build, by all means, but remember, this patch allows for a lot of creativity, so make sure to go out there, try your own decks out, try different combinations, see what works for you. But like I said, if you like my deck, by all means, use it. I'm running Death and Knowledge with Morigesh. So I start out usually with either the Rejuvenator or the Font of Experience, and it's situational. If I'm playing against somebody that I know might have like really high poke, I might go with the Rejuvenator first. So the Rejuvenator gives you a Restoration Potion. You gain 12 health regen and 10 mana regen. This is just to help you stay alive, right? Stay out in your lane a little bit longer and all that good stuff. Now, if I think I can hold my own in my lane, I'm not too worried about whoever I'm laning against, I go with the Font of Experience. This card right here, I think a lot of people sleep on it, but it's very, very good. This card right here gives you 4 experience every 10 seconds. To put that in context, basically what that means is, if your opponent is not running this card, when they're level 3, you'll be level 5. At least that's what the math looks like when I was playing. I was playing Mori against Howitzer. He was not running the card. I was level 5, he was level 3. I had my ult long before he did. Easy peasy kill. So, I highly recommend the Font of Experience. As we get down here, I skip this row completely, and I go down here to the Mana Flow Alkalite. I like this card because it gives you the 9 power, which is good. You want Morigesh to have a little power, but the passive is what's really good. So increases max mana by 0.5 and power by 0.5 while purchasing Intellect. So I like this card because of that reason right there. As you're speccing more into Intellect, you will just get more powerful for doing so. So I think that's awesome because Morigesh, you do spec into Intellect quite a bit with Morigesh. So I think this card is well worth it just for the power and the mana. Now right here I have the Astral Leap. Now this card is really good. And that's because Morigesh has a crappy escape. Like that little speed boost that she gets is garbage. So the Astral Leap, it lets you teleport 1,500 units. So it cannot be used after for 8 seconds after taking damage from enemy hero. But that's okay because you're already getting hit on. You're probably dead anyway. So if you see people coming towards you, if you know that Kalari's creeping on you, that's when you use your link. Get back to your leap. Get back to your tower. Awesome card for heroes that don't have a lot of mobility. Bellica's another hero that this works well on. So, and also it gives you 80% mana regen, so that's awesome. Now, as we go down here further, I have 2 cards in this row. Now, Finder of the Playthings. I like this, and I just love the artwork on this card, but that's neither here nor there. Gives you 10 power, 56% mana regen, and then Unholy Gaze. So target enemy heroes to reduce attack speed by 30 and move speed by 100 for 2.5 seconds. Now that's awesome on its own, but here's another big thing. Reveal all enemy heroes for 6 seconds. Remember the thing I said about not having any mobility? This right here will allow you to see the enemies for 6 seconds. It's almost like, well, it's a better version of a ward. So I love this card because the slow is awesome too. I don't want to downplay that. That slow will allow you to chase people down if you feel like you need to, because 100% movement slow is significant. So you will be able to chase people down. You'll be able to see what's going on around the map, so you know if you can actually chase them down or if you should back off. So I think this card is awesome, and I think it might be glitched, but the range is like infinite. So that might be a glitch. We might need to fix it. I might do a video talking about that specifically. Now, as we get right here, we have the Soldier of Fortune. So this card gives you 100 mana, 40 mana regen, and then Golden Touch is what's awesome. Destroy a target minion and gain 150 bonus gold and 30 experience. So remember the thing I said about getting ahead? This card right here on top of your Font of Fortune or Font of Experience will allow you to get very far ahead. And it's going to get you a nice little stack of gold as well. Second thing that this card is good at is setting the enemy wave, right? Or setting the wave in general. Because if you hit their siege minion or their range minion, whatever's there, you're going to set the wave in your favor. So this card is awesome. I know a lot of people don't really think about that. And I mean like in game. Like they see the wave and they think, oh man, it's pushing fine. They don't realize that their siege minion is gone. So actually the wave is pushing against them. So I really like this card. The next card here is an epic card. It's called Power Tap. Now once you get a nice little stack of gold going, this is when you can use Power Tap. Power Tap increases your power by 15. and card is unequipped on use. So you can only use it once or whatever, but you can keep buying it for 4,000 gold and then just keep stacking your power. So we all know power is great on Morigesh. You will be finishing people off easy peasy, no problem. So I love this card right here. Power type is awesome. Now as we get down here, we have one card in this row. The the Thaumaturge. Now this card gives you 8 power, 105 mana, and then empowering mana is the passive. So you gain power equal to 1% of your max mana, and then overflow. Gain 4 max mana whenever you deal damage to an enemy hero, up to 300 max mana. So this card right here is great because you're stacking mana with your Alkulite card, and you're getting mana because you're specking into Intellect anyway. So on top of that, this card is going to reward you. It's going to give you power for the mana that you have. So I really like this card right here. It's a card that you can keep until end game if you want, or you can swap it out. But I do really like that. Now let's look at some of the other cards here. Atomic Soldier, I think, is a must-have. This card gives you 17 power, 145 mana, and then the ability right there, the passive is ability damage is increased by 10%. I think this card is a must-have. 10% increased damage is just ridiculous. If you're hitting for 1,000, that's just going to give you an extra 100 on top. So I mean, you can't beat that. I always go with Atomic Soldier on my casters for late game cards. Now as we get down here, I have two cards that I really like. Nameless Curse gives you 15 power, 125 mana, 72 mana regen, and this is the best part, the Toxin. You deal 50 damage per second to target enemies for 18 seconds. This damage cannot kill the unit, but that doesn't matter because when you're hitting them with your hive, when you're hitting them with your mark, when you're hitting them with your ult, they're going to die. But this card right here will keep them from backing. It will keep them. It will keep them weak. It will keep that dot on them. I mean, it's ridiculous. I love this card right here. So I highly recommend this for Morigesh just because it goes so well with her. Yes. Now right here, I also love this card too. Now this card is a Corrosive Walker. This card gives you 25 power, 385 health, and enfeebling shout. Reduce ability armor of nearby enemies by 30 for 6 seconds. So I love this card as well. If you can stack these two together, that would be awesome. But even if you can't, let's say you can only pick one of them. Either one of them is great because this card right here is going to reduce a lot of their ability armor. And now you can go negative in ability armor. So if you have somebody else who's also shredding armor, you're going to be cutting through enemies like nothing. So this card right here will make your hive do more damage, will make your mark do more damage, will make your ultimate do more damage. So I like both of these. Now the last card we have in here is going to be Plague Lord Malik. So this card gives you 17 power, 290 health, and then 170 mana. And the effects are Blight. Nearby enemy heroes have Blight, which is cool. But this is the one that I really like. So slow the movement speed of nearby enemies by 120. So now, in game, Morigesh is quite destructive. I mean, she does a lot of damage. This card will make it so that people cannot get away from her, especially if you have your team with you. Because by the time that you're putting on this card, you should be close to the point where either one team or the other is going to win. So you should be grouped up with your teammates. You should be going in for the kill, going in for something. This card right here will slow down all the enemies who are in range, and the radius is pretty wide. So this right here will allow your team a nice advantage on speed and will allow you to run down people. Now, in game, it depends on how I want to build. I like to have Plague Lord Malik in game if I can, but I always make sure that I have Nameless Curse in game for sure. I can live without Corrosive Walker. If I have to choose between the two, I go Nameless Curse and then Plague Lord Malik if I have to choose. But if I can, it would be good to get Corrosive Walker if I can. And then the third card that I'll usually run will be either Atomic Soldier, or if I can't get that, it'll be this weaker card here, Finder of the Plaything. So it depends on how you want to run and how deep into the game you can get. But I always at least try to get two of these in-game cards in here, prioritizing the Toxin for sure. But if you can get more points in there, you can get whatever you like. Now, as we go over here, we'll get to the gems. I don't put anything in agility. Vitality, I go ahead and I just put 1 point into healing towers. And in case you don't know what that does, that you gain 2.2 regen and 1.2 mana regen while near your tower. So I like that. I think it's just extra health while you're near your tower because you're gonna be spending a lot of time in that first tower probably. Now I filled out the intellect tree here, so I go with the auto mana potion. So you gain 2.5 mana regen for 15 seconds when you fall below 40% max health. Awesome right there. Just keeps you you know, in the mana. Experience, so earn 10% bonus experience. I went this route instead of going with damage or anything because with the Soldier of Fortune and the Font of Experience, plus this card, you're going to get a lot of experience very quickly. And getting ahead in this new meta or this new patch is so much more significant than it was in the last one, especially since they upped the levels that you can actually gain. So if you can get ahead, you can really steamroll some people. So I like that, and that's what I try to do with Morigesh. Try to bully people and just get it far as ahead as I can. Now Spell Burn is another one. This one's 2.5 power, and then abilities deal bonus damage equal to 2% of enemy current health over 3 seconds. So right there, that's just extra damage. It's like having your little I can't remember what that card is now from the old patch, but it's basically just extra damage over time. So you want that to pair with your hive because they just go together so well. Because you tick with the hive and then you get that spell burn. It's just filthy. It keeps people out for so much longer. Now, ruthless spells. You get 35 mana, then you deal an additional 1% ability damage for every 10% of an enemy's missing health. So I love that right there. Because you're going to be taking away at people's health. So the weaker they get, the more damage you're doing. And it's just filthy combination. So I love that with Morigesh. And then the last card, of course, is Overpowering Spell. I don't see why any caster wouldn't have this. So 2.5 power, 20 mana regen. Then abilities deal 20% bonus damage and cost an additional 30 mana, 30% mana. Now, yes, 30%, that's a nice little price, but 20% extra damage is ridiculous. So you can't pass that up. I mean, I say always go with overpowered spells, especially on heavy casters like that. So, people, that's what I have for Morigesh so far. Let me know what you think about the deck down in the comments. If you liked it, let me know. If there's something that you would change or something that you add in your Morigesh, I would like to know as well. I want to know how the community is building. Um, if you like this video, make sure to drop a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe today to join the Orseofkorse. And people, if you're looking for a way to support the channel, make sure to check the link in the description. Click on the Patreon. Go check out some of the reward tiers. And if it seems interesting to you, consider becoming a patron. So people, that's all I have. I'll be doing a live stream here shortly. So if you want to come in and see how the deck works firsthand, you are more than welcome to. Thank you for watching this video. This is Orseofkorse. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.